那接下来呢，就让我们带大家走入这个旅程的第2站啊。第2站我们要呼应一下 Rose 该替我们开的场。Rose 讲说我们今天要 cover 4个重点哈。接下来这个重点叫做 Audience Ads 哈。Audience Ads 对于很多朋友也许很陌生哈。简单来讲，它就是帮我们哈在消费者的茫茫人海之中，怎么样帮我们广告主把我们的广告在对的时间投放给对的人哈。那雅虎有一套全新的解决方案，叫做 Audience Ads。刚才 Rose 也提到，它的前端的界面叫做雅虎 Ad Manager Plus。哈，究竟是怎么一回事？怎么可以帮助我们呢？我们也请到了我们远从伦敦来的我们雅虎同仁，要跟我们分享一下啊。他是我们雅虎在广告产品行销部的资深总监。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mike Bevans.
So it's good to be back. I was here last year. For those of you who were here last year, may remember me. And it's good. I'm actually seeing some familiar faces. So hopefully next time this year, I'll see even more. I'm going to talk to you today about some things that I'm sure you're all extremely excited about. We're going to introduce you to a new audience buying solution from Yahoo. It's a programmatic solution. I'm going to talk about programmatic, and I'm going to talk about big data. So I have to ask always, because I want to find out who the folks are. Who are the people in the room who are really excited about big data and programmatic? Oh, come on, don't laugh. Raise your hand. Come on. It's cool. There we go. Yeah. So it may be the boring stuff and kind of the guts, but to be honest with you, it's really changing the face of digital marketing. And it's a really cool thing. And so I get excited about these things, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. I do have to apologize for those of you who are on the translation. The translators asked me for my script, and I told them I don't really follow a script, so we'll just roll with it.
One second, Mike. Speaking of a translation, let me remind everybody. 如果您需要翻译的话，在您的资料袋中有个翻译机，哈，您可以同步听到Mike演讲以及带我们其他国外讲者的中文翻译。好，不过以 Mike 为例子哈，他会完全不照之前的讲稿走。Back to you, Mike.
All right. So let's start with the promise of digital marketing. And the promise of digital marketing, when I started back in the day, was about the ability to communicate on a one-to-one basis. There was this belief that this new thing called the internet is going to be so phenomenal that we're going to be able to connect with individuals because there's so much data and so much information. The problem is, yes, we had a lot of data, we had a lot of information, but the systems never spoke to each other. And this is why I'm saying, with the advent of big data and programmatic, and I'm actually talking to you about smart data and programmatic, we're actually getting to the point where we truly can customize and communicate with people on a one-to-one basis. It's the ability for brands to connect with individuals, which is really important. So starting back, we talk about targeting, and everyone talks about targeting. The industry did a bad thing by calling it targeting because, honestly, who wakes up in the morning and says, I cannot wait to get targeted by an ad? Yeah. I play a little game with myself. I open up my hotel room and I go, see what's going to be hit or whatever. But if you think about it, the latest statistics I saw is we see 5,000 commercial messages a day. 5,000 commercial messages a day. Assuming you get 8 hours sleep, that's 1 every 11 seconds. So every 11 seconds, you're getting hit by a message. So hold on. 10, 11. Yahoo! All right, see, we hit you again. But what does that mean? If you're a brand marketer, if you're an advertiser, how do you cut through the clutter? How do you actually connect with an individual, right? You can't just bombard things at people. It's not about spamming. Everyone's in their mobile device, etc. So it's really about making things personal and relevant. And that's what audience buying is all about. That's what big data is all about to help you do that. It's about an audience connection. So I'll give you a story that I thought was, I was targeted a few months ago. I just moved to London, but I was living in Switzerland. I moved to London. I needed to open a bank account. So I went to Lloyd's, went to their site, and then I went and opened a bank account. They were using a retargeting company, I won't say which one. For 3.5 weeks, I was getting hit with messages to open a bank account with Lloyd's. I had already opened a bank account. So how does that make you feel as a customer that my bank, who I'm going to put my money in, doesn't even know that I'm a customer, okay? The good news is they started using Yahoo, and 3.5 weeks later, I got a message that said, download the app for online banking. aha, they made a connection with me because now they knew that I was a customer. So it's a very simple example, but the feeling I had when I got that app, something that was valuable to me, versus them saying, hey, come open an account with us, was very different, right? And so that was truly a connection. And that was the benefit of smart data. So we talk about big data. Last year, big data was probably the most overhyped thing in the world. And that's what people say. I read a story on the way out here. Forbes had a story about how big data was so overhyped. But just to be clear, the concept is talked about as being hyped about. But the realities are that big data is real, and it actually does help us, and it fits very well into programmatic. Most of you folks are like, big data. I know what big data is, I hear it, and it's not that data used to be small and now it's big, right? It's really about three things. It's about the volume of data, the velocity of data, and the variety of data. When I started out back in the day, 15 years ago, it was all just about behavior, click data. You read this page, you did this search, etc. There's so much more information out there to help us as marketers to learn more about our users, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, and understand how we can take that information and really customize a message or a campaign to that specific user. So the big thing is big data is not going away, and it's getting much, much, much bigger. So next year at this time when I come back, we're going to talk about this, the Internet of Things. So how many people know what the Internet of Things is? A couple people. So the Internet of Things is basically, I know this is a bit of an eye chart, but the Internet of Things is all devices are going to be connected. So your refrigerator, your toaster, your car. Does anybody have a health band on right now, right? Well, that's going to be connected, and it's all going to be based on this. I read something yesterday that there is a toilet being developed that'll be connected to your mobile device. Yeah, think about that. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but if you want it, you're one of those people that you need to flush your toilet when you're at work, at home, it'll happen. Kind of crazy, right? But if you think about things like your refrigerator being able to tell you you're out of milk on the way home, that's valuable to you. So this is the Internet of Things. But what this means is brands, devices. You saw Macy's has, you come in and you're immediately pinged, right? They know about you, so every device will be connected, and that information will help you to customize and have that one-to-one dialogue, okay? So mark my word, you're going to see a lot about the Internet of Things. Be a little afraid of toilets, but anyways. So we talk about big data, but we need to move to smart data. And if we think about it from an advertiser's perspective, smart data gives us a few key things. It helps us do things like audience discovery. Who is truly interacting with your brand? Who is your target audience? We as marketers, and I'm a product guy, so we develop products, right? So we often say, we're going to develop this product for this specific use, and it's going to be going after this specific audience. But oftentimes, we develop a product for specific use, and other types of audiences are using it, right? So with the ability of smart data, you get to learn and understand who's interacting with your brand, who is it that's using it. Personalization, like I talked about. A simple example, like I told you, the fact that they sent me a message as a new user, Lloyd's, and said, sign up for this app, was a personalized message. And it truly connects. Millennials, those of you who are younger, you don't have time. You've told us. You don't want to have to go through a lot of noise. You want brands to communicate with them, with you, and you want to communicate with them, right? And so this ability to have a personal relationship is important to you. Optimization of marketing channels. There's a ton of information that'll help us understand what is the synergies between mobile and video, or mobile video versus PC versus offline, TV, etc. The ability for the data that we have, right? I was at lunch with some folks, and still the biggest challenge they have is we're doing things in the digital space, but we don't know how it's working. Is it successful, right? Now, there's so much information now when you can start to dig in and you start to use platforms like I'm going to introduce to you, Yahoo Ad Manager Plus, programmatic platforms. You can start to see what's happening on an online and offline basis and how users are interacting with these different channels. So it's really important. And then understanding customer behavior. So a quick story. This is probably a little bit of an urban legend, but I heard about this a few years ago. Diapers and beer. Right? So diapers and beer. There was a story about 7-11 years ago, found out we're selling a lot of diapers and beer together. It's like, what's going on with that? So this is just a simple story about how data helps you to understand customer behavior. What they did was they found out that new moms send the dads to go get the diapers. So they go to the store, the dads get the diapers, right? Pick up the diapers. What do we do as men? We deserve a reward, right? We went to the store and got diapers. So we had to come back and, there's a 6-pack of beer. We got to do that, buy that. So we have a little treat when we get home while mom's taking care of the baby. Anyways, so what they started to do is they put the diapers next to the beer. They started selling more of both. So you guys understand, you learn customer behavior by looking at what kind of data sets are out there. Next, smart data powers programmatic. And this is what's very key, what you guys have to understand. Programmatic is all about data. And there's a few concepts. First of all, programmatic is not automatic. It's automated, but it's not automatic. And the difference there is it still requires human intuition. You guys are key to making programmatic work for you. It's a great platform, but programmatic platforms need to be controlled by individuals. Next is around the GIGO principle. You need a lot of smart data to help with these programmatic. And so GIGO stands for garbage in, garbage out, right? If you don't have good data helping inform your programmatic media buys, if you're just looking at it at a single channel, for example, not an omni-channel perspective, you're not going to get good results, right? And the great thing that I love about programmatic is it's very much audience-centric, right? As someone who studied marketing, the first thing they teach you, understand your target audience, your customer segments, right? This, digital for so many years looked at it from a product perspective. How do we serve them a mobile ad? How do we do this? But this, with programmatic, is all about how do we define the optimal audience and engage and connect with that audience. And that's what's really, really important and really exciting. So we're introducing Yahoo Audience Ads. Like I said, it's an end-to-end programmatic solution. It taps into the strength of Yahoo data. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Premium inventory, and there's some key things there in terms of the reach we have. Cross-channel management. Again, it's not about mobile or video. It's about where's your audience and how do you find them. And then actionable insights. So it's all built on what's called Yahoo Ad Manager Plus. And this is our platform that we use and manage the service for you. It takes the inputs in terms of Yahoo users, third-party Yahoo customer. We have a DMP, data management platform, that takes all this information. This is where the smart data becomes even smarter. Because the synergies that we have between these things, we can take your customer information,